Ladies and gentlemen, friends and rivals, holiday celebrators, and New Year partiers. Woo! Welcome to the Game Table Podcast. My name is Jared, and with me is my friend, the now proud owner of Six Siege the board game, Ian.
That's me.
We will be your hosts for the episode. We are honored and grateful that you have joined us at our table. Here at the Game Table Podcast, we usually take a look at various board, card, and other tabletop games. We give an overview, provide a little insight on how to play, and share some of our thoughts, all in an attempt to give you an idea of how well it would fit for you and your table. But today, we're going to look back over the year of 2024 and look forward to the year of 2025.
Whoa.
We do hope that you have a wonderful new year, and let's jump into it.
Well, today,
of all days,
if you look back over the year, and honestly, if you refer back to a year ago,
almost to the day.
When did this get? December 27th is when that episode released.
It's been a year and 4 days when this episode drops.
Because this is dropping on the 1st.
Yes.
Okay. So a year ago today, everyone, as a quick review of the year of 2024.
2023. Well,
2024.
Well, it was 2023 when the issue happened. Because
Right.
you were ranting at the end of 2023.
I was ranting at the end of 2023.
Yes.
As a review, at the end of last year, I ranted heavily.
For like 30 minutes.
I think it was at least 25. 22.
Almost 30 minutes.
Yeah. I think you might have tried to cut it under 30 because you didn't want me to ramble for 30.
I was going to say, the raw audio is probably 30.
It's definitely 45. So I ranted, and you were welcome to go back. Episode released on December 27th,
2023.
So go back and review
if you want.
If you so choose. I ranted heavily on a game called Six Siege by, I don't even know if I want to say the company's name. I really don't. But somehow I walked to Jared's house tonight.
From your car. Let's be clear.
From my car. And I opened a Christmas gift, and the game was before my eyes.
He couldn't believe it.
I still can't believe it. I think that's a fake box. It's not real.
It's not. You opened it up and you've seen the contents.
You printed you made it look like it's a game in there.
I am just not that evil of a person. Like, I could not even conceptualize that idea.
But this game is before me. As you well know, I had nothing good to say. I still don't really have anything good to say about the game company.
Except, the game company. Okay.
But the game company. But I am excited to play the game, and I am incredibly thankful and surprised. I mean, my biggest surprise of the year is this game right before my eyes. It's right here in front of me.
Wow, we're jumping ahead.
We are, but I'm gonna just say it now. I'm shook and shaken to the core.
Wow.
I'm conflicted as the year ends and we start a new year. But
that's right.
Wow. Well, anyway,
we started 2024 in pain, and we end with joy and surprise.
It's been 3 years of suffering.
I know, buddy.
For this moment.
No, we're not going to go back down that rabbit trail.
and lots of money spent, but I bought it and never got it, and you bought it
for a significantly less price,
and you gave it to me. So in the end,
I think it's a great story.
I mean, in the end, we both win.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost. I don't win as much.
The satisfaction of seeing you open it and having the complete disbelief on your face was everything.
Yeah,
that's all I ever want when someone opens a gift from me.
Yeah. Well, you did it. You did good.
I'm
that
glad.
Was incredible. I don't think you'll ever be able to surpass that.
You know, people have said that before.
Yeah, I think I might have said that last year.
I think you did, and I take that challenge and I rise to the occasion.
Well, anyway, welcome to the Game Table Podcast.
Welcome. Ian, it has been so long since we've done this.
It's been...
Where you and I have sat across the table.
Oh, wow, it has, hasn't it?
It's been a long time.
We've been very busy over the holidays.
It is. November and December have not been kind. I feel like we ran a gaming retreat, and then we're like, well, we'll see you next year.
See you next year. Yeah. Wow. Well, it's good to see you.
That's good to see you too, buddy. All right, let's jump into this. So, the first thing we're going to do some look back over 2024. And Ian and I want to revisit our scores from the reviews of the featured table episodes.
And to be clear, I don't know anything he's about to say. He's kept me in the dark on this.
I have gone back and listened to all the scores because I was not smart and just wrote them down at the time of recording.
That would have been way smarter.
That would have saved me some time. But lo and behold, here we are.
But now you have a spreadsheet, don't you?
I do have a spreadsheet.
You have like averages and all the things.
So don't tell anybody. Shh. I had to listen in my truck, so it's a very crude spreadsheet. Okay. But on my commutes, I was listening to get the scores.
Nice.
So yeah. All right. So let's just jump into this.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna list off the scores. We're not gonna spend too much time on each one. If we have a comment we want to make, that's fine. But overall, we're just gonna say, yeah, that's really where I still have this game, or here's what I want to change it to.
I gotcha.
And you can explain why.
Okay.
First up is Disney Villainous. Ian?
Oh, no.
You gave this game a 7.5.
Oh.
I gave it a 6.
Okay.
Do you feel good about your 7.5?
I would lower it.
What would you put it at now?
To 6.5.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I put it at 6.5.
Did something specific change that?
No. The way my grading has gone, I'm trying to be more... I'm trying to target it a little bit more what I'm liking instead of like an overall game.
Okay.
So I still think... I think a lot of people really love this game. I know a lot of people that really love that game. But for my own personal, I'm going to try and keep it a little bit more balanced. I still think it's a solid game. I'm just going to say 6.5. I think it's above average, but not terrible, obviously. So yeah, I would lower just a little bit.
I
still like it, though.
Sure. I would also lower my score.
Okay.
I don't think we've touched this game since we reviewed it. I'm going to drop it to a 5.5. This game just doesn't call to me in any way. This next one, though, is different.
Okay.
Next up is Apiary.
Yeah, okay.
By Stonemeyer.
His is a 10.
You gave it an 8.
Yeah.
I gave it an 8.5.
Yeah.
Would you keep your 8?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to bump mine to a 9.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it a 10.
Yeah.
There's still some parts of it that...
You were raving at the end of last year that this was one of your best games of the year.
Yeah, it's still great.
Yeah.
I've shown it to multiple people. Everybody's loved it. I really enjoy this game. It is every bit a 9.
That's fine by me. I'll allow it. I still really like the game. I'm not going to change my rating.
Great. Heat, Pedal to the Metal.
I can't remember what I gave this.
Both of us gave this a 9.
Oh, absolutely. Not changing that.
I think I am going to drop it half a point.
Okay.
I'm going to take it down to an 8.5. I still really love it.
Yeah.
But I've had some games where I'm just like, man, this is just taking forever. And I've been ready to move on. And I've played it a lot.
Yeah.
And there have been times where I'm like, man, it's starting to feel very samey in a way. So, it's not an extreme way. Like I'm still ready to pull it out. I haven't added the expansion yet, which I really want to do.
Yeah.
But as it is, and again, I think part of it is that I'm usually showing new people.
Yeah.
So I'm not adding in all the different extra things that could be in there.
Right.
So I don't know. It's still a very 8.5 is not anything to, turn your nose up at. But I'm going to drop it just half a point. Next up is a very interesting one. Ticket to Ride Legacy. You gave it an 8. I gave it a 6.75.
Wow, yeah, you really didn't like that game.
I really liked the experience of playing with you guys.
Gave it an 8 as an experience. Yeah.
Still with an 8. I'm fine with my 6.
I really enjoyed. That was a fun time. I really, really liked that.
I thought it was a fun story and a fun experience. The game itself, I'm kind of...
Well, see, that's why it's not a game you can... you can play it again. It's just I
we
rate
had a whole
that,
conversation about that.
I kind of rate it. I'm rating it slightly different because it is a legacy game. It kind of changes my opinion a little bit of because it is this long experience.
Yeah.
And the game, it's not the same game for the 12, whatever, how many times we played it. It's not the same game. You're playing like 12 different games. So yeah, as a game, as an experience, it's an 8. Yeah.
Okay.
I think if I were to compare it, Pandemic Legacy Season 1 is like a 10. So
Sure.
So yeah, I mean,
I get you.
It's slightly different, but not as good, but solid. Great
No, I get it. Like
legacy game.
I enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
But I had to factor the game itself in.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have as many issues as you did. So
that was a journey.
And I really had fun. So
I had fun too.
Yeah.
We did our next episode was Party Game Palooza, so I'm not going to go through all those again.
Yeah, no.
Next up, and since you already announced your surprise of the year, I will go ahead and say this is one of my surprises of the year.
Okay.
Let's go to Japan.
No, you should take this one because this isn't my biggest.
What do you mean I should take? Oh, which like...
This is not my biggest surprise, but it's...
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm saying you announced Six Siege as your biggest surprise.
That's my biggest surprise that I haven't played yet, to be fair. But yes.
Fair. But as far as one of the games that I played that was a surprise for me,
yes.
Let's go to Japan.
Good.
So you scored it a 9.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I said at the time that it's an 8.25.
Wow.
I'm going to bump that up to a 9.
Yeah, okay.
I legitimately, like when Ian suggested playing this game, I knew nothing about it.
And I talked about it last year on this episode.
You did. It was one of the things you were looking forward to.
Yeah.
But I remember us playing Isle of Trains All Aboard, and I was like, that was okay.
It was okay.
And I was like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, let's go to Japan. I need it to at least be okay. That's where I need this to be. And then I was I didn't know. And then we started playing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. This is really good. So anyways.
That game is so good.
I really enjoy Let's Go to Japan.
Well, now you have your own copy, so.
Thank you for that. That was my Christmas gift that I opened a little while ago, and I didn't have to walk to get to it.
You can play solo, which you should do because I've never done that. So you should give it a try and let me know how it is.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sounds good.
He's not excited about it, but
no, I mean I might be.
It's more fun when you're.
There are certain games that I enjoy playing solo.
Yeah.
So
I haven't played it. I'm just curious.
Maybe
anyway.
so.
No, I will say that was a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah. Not as much for you,
So
though.
it wasn't a surprise because I was telling you before, when I saw that Kickstarter, and I might have said this last year, but I was already sold about this game. I was like, I know I'm going to like this.
Yeah.
I already knew because it was similar to a game I played growing up, and I was like, I already know. I backed it full. I changed my pledge. I went all in. I was like, yeah, I'm going to love this. It was a pleasant experience based on what my expectations were. It met all of my expectations.
Nice.
Great game, though.
Yeah. Okay.
I keep, 9?
Now we're both at a 9.
I like it, and I'm fine. Totally.
I really enjoy that game. Next up is X-Wing. We did our miniatures episode.
Nice.
You had a split rating.
Okay.
Where you said, for me, it's a 10.
Okay.
As a game, it's an 8.
Yeah.
I said it was a 9.
Just total?
Yeah.
Oh, I split?
You split.
Okay.
So how do you feel about your split rating?
I would still keep it as a 10 from me.
Yeah.
I would say a 7.
Oh, we're going down.
Yeah, I think so.
Whoa.
I don't think it's for everybody. It's clunky. I mean, in this current state that I have stuff, it's there's a lot of rules you kind of have to sort through. So
sure.
But yeah, no, for me it's a 10. I love it.
Interesting.
But yeah, so far as a game, I want to knock it down to 1.
Okay. I think I'm gonna leave it at 9.
Yeah.
Like
you don't have to change your thing. But since
right.
I did split, let me at least reel it in a little bit.
Okay. All right. Very good.
I still love it though. So.
All right. Next up, Acropolis.
Okay.
You gave it an 8.
Yeah.
I gave it a 9.
Okay. So speaking of surprises,
yeah.
This might be my biggest surprise of the year. I'm gonna say 9.5.
Whoa! Really?
I really like this game. There is not. You could say, hey, do you want to play Acropolis? I might play it for hours and hours.
That's wild.
I will forever play this. I have played this game probably 50 times this year. It might be my most played game. I have multiple buddies that we went to the retreat and played it.
Yeah.
We went to another it was like a little weekend. Played it like 6 times that day.
Huh.
And then I've had him over and we've played it like the same guy too. We'll just keep playing it with like another 3rd or 4th person, but it's me and him and then 2 new people or they've played it before. I played so much of this game, and I still like it. I still love this game.
That's cool, man.
Under the circumstance that it is a lighter game,
yeah,
it is a 9.5.
Interesting.
I just love this game. Yeah.
I think so. Okay. I'm gonna drop it just down to like an 8.75.
That's crazy.
It's like a quarter of a point.
Yeah.
Only because like I don't play it very much.
Yeah.
It doesn't come out. But I don't know how much of that is just because of me and having other things to do versus I don't know.
Did we do Between Two Cities the year prior or this year?
It was the year prior.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have that on this list.
So because they're similar in the way, like I own both.
In a way, yeah.
And they both have their value because Between Two Cities goes up to 7. But the way that you can build vertically, and there's just so many combos of that, and then the drafting. Obviously, it's drafting in Between Two Cities, but it's a board, and you kind of have to make sure you're planning. There's a planning to drafting them and taking them. I love it. And there's so many different
9.5 on that blows me away.
Yeah. That is my most played game this year. Absolutely. There's not another game that I've played more than that.
Well, big thank you to Funky Town for getting that in your life.
Yeah. After teaching it like 50 times and then and playing it a bunch of times, and then I bought it at McKay's. I played it with you. We reviewed it.
Yep.
And I was like, oh yeah, I really like that. And then I bought it. I was like, okay, I really did actually like that. Let me buy it. And then I wore it out. Like absolutely wore it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I was just, while you were talking, I was looking this up. There's an expansion.
Oh no.
For Acropolis.
Oh no.
It just came. It's just coming out probably early next year.
No.
I mean, it looks like it's like out technically.
Yeah.
But in that like weird board game way where like it's out in one country but not others.
Yep.
So
I have it ranked as a 9 on BGG already.
Just something to consider.
Yeah. I'm just gonna bump it up.
Go ahead and fix that.
There it is. Fixed. I might have to change
It's still really good.
I might have to change my 6 Siege 1 to a 2 though.
Oh my.
Yeah.
How exciting. Maybe you should play it first and just see. I'm waiting for like that 1 a.m. text tomorrow where you're like, Jared, it's great. I've been playing all weekend.
I don't know if I'll be able to get to the table tomorrow, but I will. I'm going to text my brother and see if he can come over this weekend.
Okay. Well, speaking of, actually, there's not a good transition there.
Okay.
So in that same episode, we did the infamous Sea Salt and Paper.
It's a 1.
You...
What did I say?
Gave it a 4 or a 5.
Yeah, I don't really even know where to put that game.
I gave it a 2.5.
Yeah. Again, there's a quality of cards that's the biggest problem. It's not necessarily the game. And so, I'll give it a 4. It's not a 5.
No pressure here, man.
No, it's not a 5, but I'll give it a 4. It's not a 2. It's not Uno. Uno.
It kind of is.
No, it's not. It does different things than Uno. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's how dare you do that to Pandasaurus?
Maybe I'm salty.
You are salty.
I'm keeping Sea Salt and Paper at 2.5.
That's fine, but I'm not giving it a 2. That's bad.
That's bad.
There's so many other games I would play Sea Salt and Paper over a lot of other situations.
I think I could look around this room.
Yeah, in this room, you don't have garbage.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. It is an okay card game. Okay, like at best.
I'm looking at like even all my kids' games. I would gladly play those before I played Sea Salt and Paper again.
And that's fine. But again, those aren't bad.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, those are good. Those are by Haba games. Those are fantastic.
My kids only play good games.
Let's move on. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. It came up. Next up, Cat in the Box Deluxe Edition.
Yeah.
You gave it an 8.
Yeah.
I gave it an 8.25.
I think you're going to lower that, but I'm going to keep it at an 8. I love this game. Probably my second most played game.
I'm bumping it to an 8.5.
Wow, you're going up.
I'm going up. Of all the card games that Bezier came up with, this one's my favorite. I really thought Rebel Princess was going to be better, but I was wrong. This game is the best of the card games that Bezier's put out. And as a trick taker,
yeah,
I think it's my favorite.
I actually might match you at 8.5. Yeah, I'd match you there.
You feel good about that?
Yeah, I'd match you there.
All right.
Because it doesn't sit like at a 9 exactly. Like I really, really like this game. But the trick taking,
you don't even like, yeah.
I like trick taking. I just don't want it all the time. Where Acropolis, I want all the time. So.
Sure. No, I get that. All right. Next up, harmonies.
Mm-hmm.
You gave it a 7.
Okay.
I gave it a 7.5.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your 7?
I would bump that actually to 7.5.
Really?
Yeah, I liked harmonies. The more I think about it,
that's really interesting.
You say that because I like literally last week I was thinking like, that game's actually kind of fun. The way you're like building the little thingies and with what are they? They're
the discs.
The discs, but they're habitats or
yeah.
Anyway, I didn't play it enough. I think if I played it more, I think I would enjoy it more. But yeah, it was good. I would say 7.5. I think it's a good one. What was yours?
I had it at a 7.5.
Okay, so we're probably gonna switch, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm going down to at least a 7.
Okay.
I haven't played it in a long time.
Yeah.
I've had like no desire to play it.
If somebody brought it to me, I'd definitely play it again.
Until I actually forgot we reviewed it until I went back and did this list.
Yeah, I would play it again. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I mean it was all right.
And again, I want to tailor it to what I like, and I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna buy it because we talked about reasons why in the episode, so go back and listen.
Sure.
But
please go back and listen.
Yeah, for me, I did enjoy it, and I think it's fun. So yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this next one is the divisive off-air argument that we had.
No.
Star Wars Outer Rim. You, in all of your grandiose...
I had a big whoop-de-doo about this one.
You gave it a 9 for theme.
I did.
And a 6 for the game.
Okay.
I gave it an 8.5.
A 9 for theme and a 6.
Listeners, I want you to know that since this egregious conversation that none of you know about, this man has gone out and bought the game and the expansion and was asking me where he could get an insert.
You have to, the expansion does, I think it is a necessity.
We played with it.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I wouldn't buy just the base game. I would immediately go out.
I'm with you with that.
I'm just going to give it an 8. Just match, just knock it both down. Screw this whole two-way system here. Theme and gameplay, after going in, I discussed this with you, I did have to go in with a little bit different perspective. And I think after our conversation after the podcast, I did go in with a different perspective on what my experience at the table would be.
Yeah.
I think when I went into it, I went in with these expectations that weren't realistic to the game, and I'm trying to be more realistic with the gameplay, and I think I had a great time.
Well, it's interesting
and the
because
people at the table had a good time too. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
it's interesting because the more I thought about our discussion, I am 100% with you that Fantasy Flight missed it by making it characters that you knew instead of making them characters you could build and make them your own.
Yeah, especially when you're doing it like you're not gonna be those characters.
Exactly.
And so that's what I got hung up. And
you could still run into all of the famous characters in your story.
Yeah.
But making it your story would make that game so much cooler.
Yeah. Where you could just encounter the famous characters.
Right.
Yeah, you have to go with a little different of a mind space. And I did. So I encourage you, if you're not enjoying a game and everybody else says it's good,
come talk to me.
Come talk to Jared. But also just, maybe it's just not for you. That's totally fine as well.
Sure.
But maybe on a game like this where it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be, I set unrealistic expectations. I think that's really what it comes down to. Is I heard about this game years ago and I played it prior and I didn't have a good time then, and then I played it a second time and it was like kind of like the same experience. Like I just had these unrealistic expectations, and so going into it for a third time, it was my third game finally. It kind of changes the way. So
sure,
there's that,
which is cool.
Yep, there's that.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go away from the feature table for one game because you jumped over to the two top for an episode.
Oh wow, that was this year?
That was this year where we did That Time You Killed Me.
Oh, that's right. We did do that one, didn't we?
Both of us gave it a B+. So how do you feel about...
Okay.
Because we grade differently on the two top.
Yeah.
So do you feel good about your B+? No,
that's a good game. I like that one.
I feel good about my B+ too. I've actually thought about that one recently and wanting to get it back out, but we're way deep in Fate Forward, Jan and I are. So all other two-player games are on pause.
Yep. No, that's a good game. I like that rating.
Nice. Okay, next up, we move into another double episode with Parks. You scored Parks an 8. I did a weird split rating where I said, if you're into light games, it's an 8.5. If you primarily like heavier games, it's a 7.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about your 8?
I'll drop it down to a 7.
You're going to give it a 7?
Yeah. I really like the game.
Yeah.
But
I think the more I've thought about it, and I think the expansions maybe could add more that I haven't tried out yet.
I think,
but for the base game, I'm going to just make my 2 into a 7.5.
Yeah.
I think that's where it sits for me.
I think that's good. Yeah, I'm never going to say no to this game.
Yeah.
Unless it's like 5 players. I don't really want to do that. But I have a friend that owns it and she likes it. So if she came into a game night and said, hey, let's play this, I'd be like, yeah, totally.
Sure.
I'd love to play it again.
Okay.
So yeah, the expansions, I'm curious. Yeah, would it change my rating a little bit? I think some of them would, but for right now, I'm going to say...
But for the base game?
Yeah, for the base game, what I'm saying right now is 7.
Okay. Well, the back half of that episode was Parks Roll and Hike.
Oh, yeah.
You gave it a 6.9.
Okay.
Saying that, I believe, and I quote, a 7 would be a perfect roll and write game. And I gave it a 6.
So a 7 is technically a 10 for a roll and write.
That's what you were saying for a roll and write.
I'm still saying that.
Okay, you stand by that logic.
But if we're going to go at I'm going to still go by that logic because I can't come up with something on the spot right now to change that rating.
Okay.
What would I say, 6.9?
That's what you said.
I'm going to say 6.8.
Wow. We're moving down by the decimal.
Yep, because it's a roll and write. So it's a good roll and write. It's fun. It's a roll and write.
I did get to play this again after we reviewed it. And it just didn't do it for me.
It's a roll and write.
Again, it's not the game's fault. Like for a roll and write, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm just not a roll and write fan.
Neither am I. So a roll and write, like comparatively, a 10 roll and write is really like a 5. So
dang, that's even worse. You're above your high score.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying a 7 is that's a 10
for you
of a roll and write.
Yeah,
and it's almost a 10. It's good. I like it.
I think I'm dropping it to a 5.5.
Good. We can move on.
Great.
Let's not keep talking about this game.
Next up, Distilled. Distilled, you gave an 8.
Okay, I was wondering what I gave it.
I gave it an 8.5.
Yeah. You're going up.
So how do you feel about Distilled?
I gave it an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Sticking with it?
Yeah.
I am too. I think 8.5 really represents how I feel about that game.
Yeah. I have a couple issues, but they're still the same.
And I think it's a great game.
Yeah. It's a good game.
Yep.
Well above average.
Oh, yes. So coming up, we got like 5 left here.
Okay.
Campaign Trail.
Yeah.
You gave it a 9. I gave it a 7.5.
Give it a 9.
You did. And Josh and I looked at you like you were crazy. So do you stand by your 9?
That game's really good. You have to. It is a 9. I'm not counting team play. Get rid of that. 2 to 3 players. It's a 9.
Okay.
I think it does everything that I like. It's a fantastic. Yeah. Like I've mentioned on the podcast, it does everything that an election game I want to do. It feels like a tight election, especially with some of the little mini things. It does everything that game does everything.
Yep.
There is some quirkiness and some fiddliness, absolutely. But yeah, that game, it does everything that I want in an election game. It is amazing.
I think I'm going to stick with my 7.5.
Yeah, I'll keep it at that for now.
Okay.
We'll revisit next year.
Maybe. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah. But no, yeah.
Okay. What about Rock Hard 1977?
I really want to know what I gave this.
We both gave it a 7.5.
Okay.
In fact, we kind of fell in love with 7.5s for a little while.
I was gonna play this one more time before the end of the year. I don't think I'll be able to because I think I would bump it to an 8.5.
Interesting.
I really like this game. I had a really good time playing this game the last time at our little getaway.
That's cool.
And I didn't even win. But the person
that usually helps you.
Now, I will say, since we're talking about this game, we did talk about it in the podcast that we thought there was only one way to really win. The player that won this game did not win by going to the big show.
Sure.
All they did was hang out backstage and make love with all the band members and all this stuff.
That's a way to play.
Yeah. So really changed my perspective as well, as there's not one way to win. And so that bumps it up for me as well.
I think that's great.
That bumps it up a half point at least, but I had a really good time playing it as well.
Yeah.
8.5. I want to get this one to the table more and more. I really I think it is a light enough worker placement, but is tight and fun and has that tension that a worker placement has as well. I really, really, really did like that game.
Cool. I think I'm going to keep it at a 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good rating. For me, though, like I said at the beginning of this, what I like, now, this might change as the years goes on, but this year I played it a couple more times and I really, really liked it.
Sure.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Next up, another surprise for me in 2024. Redwood. You gave Redwood an 8.
Yeah.
I gave it a split rating where I said for me, it's a 9.
Okay.
For most people, they're going to see it as a 7.5.
Uh-huh.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'm just going to own it. This game is a 9. I've played this game more since then. And if you don't like this game, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I really like this one.
Yep. Yeah, I said an 8.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll keep it at that. I like that game.
Okay.
But I like it the same. Nothing really changed on that one.
Okay. Coming down the stretch, Zombicide. We both gave it a 7.5.
I'll keep it the same.
I think I'm going to go down to a 7. And the only reason I say that is the amount of getting the stuff out to get it to the table. It's really, it's a lot. And if I'm going to do all of that, I'd rather have something else that's a little bit meatier.
That's fair. I mean, maybe since we were tied before, I'll drop it down.
I've talked him into it.
I'll drop it down. That's fine.
Oh boy. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not thinking about that. So that does take it into account. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
There's multiple times that I've been like, I want to play this game. And then I immediately start thinking about,
no, that's fair.
I don't want to do that.
No, that's a good point. I'm not thinking because I don't own it. But no, that's a good point. Yeah, I would drop it down to 7 then because of that.
All right. So not including the Bezier week that we just did.
Sure.
Our last featured table game of the year is Age of Comics, The Golden Years.
Yeah.
Where we both gave it a 7.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think I'll leave it at a 7.
Yeah. I liked it.
It was fine. But
I like Rock Hard more. Rock Hard 1977.
Yeah.
As a true worker placement. But I like the Age of Comics the theme. They both are going to sit in my collection. I'm not going to remove one yet. So
no, that makes sense. So those are our updated scores. I think it's helpful to look back and kind of reflect because we can kind of get caught up in the moment, and it's good to see what staying power games have. So 2024 goals. So we'll start with the podcast because that was pretty successful all the way around. The goals that we listed at in the episode last year was to add more music and flavor to the episodes, which Alexi Chistelin has added to the How to Play, so that's great.
Nice.
We wanted to improve the links and Linktree itself. How do we feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, all the links are there now, including the website.
Which is great.
So yeah, did love it.
I think, we'll get to 2025 goals in a minute, but, and then having more exposure at conventions.
Which we did.
We did.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Funky Town, we had a really good interaction with Bezier.
That was so fun.
And getting to meet people, kind of spilling over into our own personal goals a little bit. And then Gen Con was a wild ride, which were the 2 cons that we got to this year. So, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, those were good. Yeah, I had fun, all of them. They were all great.
And I think they were wildly successful, too.
Honestly, it's hard for me to say, that was a way better experience than the other. They were both equally great.
In very different ways, but yes.
They're different. So that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah. We did have personal goals.
Yeah.
that were a little more mixed on our success. I'll go first. So I was riding high on having lost 30 pounds.
Yeah.
At the end of 2024. I have not lost a pound since.
Okay.
The good news is I've not really gained a pound since either. So we stabilized for a whole year,
there
baby.
You go. Good job. Hey, that's honestly can be very challenging.
Sure. So we're going to keep working on it. There were times where I was really frustrated about that, but it's been a full-on year. So it is what it is. The other two were getting more focused on gaming, cons and game nights and things like that. I think I feel good about that. I feel like I've gotten more gaming in with the kids specifically this year that has been really good.
Yeah.
I still want to kind of improve game nights a little bit. At some point, I haven't had as many of those consistently as I'd like.
Mm-hmm.
Navigating the recording schedule is difficult with everything else that we've got going on. So
yeah,
it's just a part of life. But yeah. And then the other thing I said was focusing on priorities. And I think I've done that. I don't think I've had any room for anything that's not really been a priority.
Nice.
So there's that.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Do you have it written down?
I have yours.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because I had some of them, but I think I might have missed one. But
okay.
So tell me.
So your first one was to bench 200 pounds.
Failure.
How do we do?
Failure.
Well, what did we get to?
Failure.
No, come on.
I stopped truly benching. I do rock climbing.
Okay.
I mean, I can do some pull-ups and stuff, which I hadn't been able to do before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have to actually go. I don't know what my bench is now.
Sure.
Because it's been a minute.
You've moved out of the weight room and more into
activity
stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's more like what is it? It's your own body. It's body weight. Body weight. I don't forget what that's called. I think there's a name for it, but whatever.
Probably.
But yeah, and I weighed around 200. So, so yeah, maybe I can bench. I don't know. Who knows? So yeah.
Sure. No, I mean that's cool. I think the fact I don't know. I'm no expert, but I think that's cool.
I have found other activities that honestly are really enjoyable.
That's good.
Gotten really so much better at rock climbing in the 1 year. I've been doing it for years. And so, yeah, I've gotten significantly better in the last year. Significant. I can do almost 3 levels up of the climbs that I used to.
Yeah.
But the beginning of the year I was probably doing 2s. But I got my first 6 a couple weeks ago. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting better. Maybe next year I can get an 8. So that'd probably be my goal, honestly, is to get an 8 this year. So.
Well, we're about to get to that.
Yeah.
So, All right. So then the last one, or you had 2 more. You also want to be more focused on game nights.
I have done that as success.
Yeah.
I've played probably the most games I've played in years this year.
That's awesome.
Between our stuff, obviously, because we had a whole year.
Yep.
But then obviously Gen Con, convention, Funky Town, and then my own stuff. Absolutely. I've played the most games this year, and I think I've had the most game nights for sure. I've gone a stretch for a while that I didn't have any, but overall, the course of the year, I've definitely had the most.
Very cool. And then the last one is to play and record more music.
Oh, yeah. I have all the recording equipment now, so it's been pretty cool.
So we've made a step.
Yeah. I did send somebody. I've sent a couple people some stuff. So, yeah, very cool. I've been working on that as well at home. So yeah, no, that's been a success there as well.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay.
But I do know, I will say, I don't know if you're going to get to this, but there was a game that I said I wanted to play.
Yes. So that's where I was going
to
next.
that. Okay. I didn't know if we were getting to that or not, because there is a game that I know I talked about that I didn't get to.
Nice. So you had 2 games that you were really excited to get to the table that you mentioned, which was Let's Go to Japan and Awkward Guest 2.
Okay. Yeah, Awkward Guest 2, I just got last week.
Yep.
So I have not played it yet.
So it's going to be a 2025 project.
I do know at one point I mentioned Mansions of Madness.
It was on one of your top games of 2023.
Okay. We played it once and I didn't play it again this year.
Okay.
So there's a couple other games that have hit the table that have taken priority.
Sure.
Especially with me and my wife. So, but it is on the list. I want to go through. There's a whole, multiple campaigns I want to. Yeah. So it is on the list. I'm not selling. That game is really fun. It's a little bit of a commitment. You're talking about multiple hours and brainy. So, but Awkward Guest 2, I read through the rules and it's going to be everything that I want it to be. Which is just a 2-player version of the Awkward Guest game.
Right.
And I think it does it really well based on how the rules I'm reading. Again, I just got it. So it came right before Christmas.
Which is great.
We're recording this before Christmas. So I got it before Christmas, so that's good. I will play it over the holiday and get an opinion of it. And we'll probably do a review on it at some point. So
Sweet. I think that's great.
Yeah.
So I had 4 that I listed as games that I wanted to make sure got to the table. I was 3 out of 4, and 1 was out of my control. So
Yep.
Wingspan Asia, Heat, Pedal to the Metal, and Sniper Elite all made it to the table.
Nice.
We need to play more Sniper Elite.
Yeah.
And feel that one out a little bit.
One.
Yeah. And then Iridia, The Paths We Dare Tread is still... It's going to come, man.
You keep saying this.
They confirmed my shipping address a week ago, so it's coming.
I don't believe it.
Oh, it'll be
It's
here.
going to be the new situation.
This is a very well-vetted company. They'll be just fine.
No, it's all right. I'll buy it for you in like 2 years, and you're disappointed, and you forgot about it.
We'll see. We'll see. No, I'm excited, and we'll see how we get it to the table.
Nice.
Because it's a big game.
Yeah,
but,
in 2 years when I buy it for you, yeah.
Did you have any other surprises of the year that you wanted to mention?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as far as surprises, we talked about this game, Ex Libris.
Oh, yeah.
At the Fun K-Town is where we played it. Well, at Gen Con, I bought the game for Julia.
Yep.
My wife. And we played it again with her parents.
Oh.
And they both absolutely loved it.
Whoa.
Absolutely loved it.
That's so cool.
So, and that was the first time I broke it out because it was literally in shrink. We just been busy.
Yep.
And over Thanksgiving, broke it out with her family. And they're like, oh my gosh, we have to play this again. And I was like, okay, well, I'll bring it next time. And I had a way better time playing it. Maybe my brain was just, I don't know. I was kind of a jerk the first time we played it. But
that's very true.
But all is forgiven. Mostly.
That's also very true.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. And I think it is a much better experience when you've played it a second time.
Okay.
To know the locations.
Yeah.
It was a lot for me to like learn 18 locations over the course of a game.
Sure. It's also different like when you're learning on the fly.
Yeah.
In a convention space where there's noise all around you.
And you don't know, you haven't read the rules prior. Yeah. I already read through the rules. Yeah, it's just different. So yeah, that was actually a very big surprise for me. And then let's see here.
I'll do a surprise while you're looking.
Go ahead.
So a late entry, Sandbag from Bezier Games. I didn't own this game until we decided that we were going to do this week of Bezier card games. And even then, like it sat in shrink. It was going to be the last game. And I knew I needed to play it to be able to review it. And so I also took it to my in-laws. And we had a great time with it.
That's good.
It's been a long time since I took a little card game somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we just sat around and talked about the strategy afterwards for like a solid 20 minutes.
That's cool. That's cool. How many players does it go to?
I think it goes up to 4.
Okay.
No, sorry, 5.
Okay.
It goes up to 5. And no, it was a fun little experience. It was very surprising.
That's cool. I need to play that one. I haven't played it, so. All right. Well, since I changed my rating for Star Wars Outer Rim, that was another one that really surprised me. I know we just talked about it, but
that and Dead of Winter.
Yeah. Again, what is with these games that I didn't like the first time when we reviewed it, and then I happen to... We're just going to do it again. We're going to continue the trend. Here's the trend. Next year, there will be another game that Ian hates on the podcast.
Yep.
And he'll come around and say it's a surprise of the year.
We have to have a therapy session about it, and then
it's okay.
I'll get you on board.
Here, round 2, we're going to continue the trend. Maybe next year we'll like have a big bell that says announcing Ian's change of mind again.
We're probably not going to do that.
The 3rd year in a row. No, it'll be a yearly thing now.
Okay.
So there you go.
Tradition.
Year 2 tradition is the game that I hated that I liked at the end of the year.
All right. I've got a surprise.
Okay.
We played almost no Marvel Champions this year.
I did play a game at the retreat, but
like so little in the grand scheme of the year.
That I'm sad about.
I looked over and saw it and I was like, we just didn't play that game.
We just
hardly at all.
We've been playing other games.
Yep.
But I want to play that game all the time still.
I
still love that game.
That's like the downside of this podcast, like just podcasting for board games in general.
Yeah.
You can't commit to lifestyle games.
Yeah.
It just becomes so hard. And I don't want to complain about that because like I love doing this.
Yeah.
But it is a downside.
I'm still, since you're talking about that, I am still buying the new stuff. So,
are you still fully packed?
Not all of it, but some of it. Like I've put stuff on my Christmas wish list because again, they're kind of cheap, nice little stocking stuffer type.
Yep.
And there are multiple expansions that look really fun, and I know we talked about last year, like the X-Men stuff doesn't pull me in. It just depends on what the X-Men stuff is. I like some of it.
Sure.
I like the characters that I know, and I don't really want to expand beyond that. So like Magneto and Nightcrawler, classic characters from X-Men. They finally came out with them, so they're on the list.
Yeah.
But as we're moving forward, though, they announced the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and so then I'm sold in again because you got Nick Fury, Maria Hill. Like You're starting to get into stuff that I really like again. And so maybe there's just this lull of like me collecting like little hit or miss stuff.
Right.
But now we're back into stuff that I might be really interested in. So we'll see how it progresses.
Yep. No, I'd love to get back to the table. As a
goal this year is to definitely play this game at least a couple more times than I did this year.
Yeah. No,
because I probably played it maybe 4 times.
Maybe. Yeah. And I think I played it less than that.
You probably did because I played a couple times at the house.
Yeah.
So.
Because we played a couple rounds earlier this year, but it wasn't a lot.
Yeah. We might have done one night.
The other surprise is Gen Con. The way Gen Con played out was just wild.
In a good way or a bad way?
No, a good way. Like
okay.
The whole like experience of engaging publishers, being given review copies.
Yeah.
Just the whole 9. Even in Funky Town too, like having Jay take the time to talk with us and spend time both gaming and talking about the podcast, and then to do an interview with us, like things like that, I would have never in my wildest dreams said in 2024 these things are going to happen.
It was such a delight and an experience. Yeah, one to just I don't know if Jay's listening or not, but Jay is fantastic. He's a great guy. And he's easy to have a conversation with.
Yep.
And that was a great experience. And I would love to do an episode here soon, maybe with him. That would be,
sure.
I don't know. It was just, yes, it's really cool. And yeah, just have somebody with a game company be willing to talk to us. And it was just really fun.
And
I've had a really, really fun time with that. And I think it's been really cool.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely a surprise all around. All those different stuff we were able to do this year was all a surprise. It was awesome.
For sure. And I mean, you and I have talked about whether or not we want to continue doing review copies, but regardless, like the experience was still really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's keep going. Game of the year. What is your game? Not even a 2024 game.
Yeah.
The game you played that said, this is my favorite game this year.
Oh, no. I have a tie.
Oh, no. What's your tie?
It's Arc Nova and Root.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't. No, I can't. I'm doing a tie.
Okay.
I have a dual game of the year.
You're finishing the year with a split rating.
Absolutely. I can't. I played them both for the first time this year at Funky Town. Both. That's crazy.
That was a weekend.
That is crazy. Wow, that's mind-blowing. My 2 games of the year.
Okay. I'm going to make a statement that I think we were exposed to as many new games at Funky Town as we were at Gen Con. That like we legitimately got to play.
That might be true.
I'm just saying. For different reasons, right? Like they weren't all 2024
we never got to play
releases.
Rock Hard 1977 at Gen Con because we just stared at the poster for an entire weekend.
Stupid butt.
I hate to do that, but I can't say one's better than the other because I've played them, I think, in equal amount of times. I might have played Root one more time.
Sure.
But right now, I mean, they'll go 1-2 right now as my favorite game.
That's cool.
As my favorite game, period.
I love that.
They're both 1-2. Marvel Champions still has the place in my heart as like my all-time favorite.
It's not.
But is my game right now to play. I think right now I would say like Arc Nova over Root, but like game of the year, both of them, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Root, and again, we've talked about Arc Nova. We've mentioned Root on this game, but it's this super asymmetrical game that you have. It's kind of like area control-ish,
sure.
And you gain points based on your faction.
Yeah, every faction's different.
Every faction plays its own different game in the way it scores points. And it's these cute little woodland creatures inside of a forest.
And they're all wanting to murder each other.
Yes, they all want to murder each other, and it's by Letter Games, which I love Letter Games. We've talked about Arcs, which has its own issues
He's come off the high,
I've come off the high
gentlemen.
of Arcs. I still think it is a very, very, very good game. It's definitely not for everybody, and it may not be for me as the years go on, but I'm definitely keeping it. But Root has definitely, it is on my list as top game. So I'm absolutely.
So I've got some competition for this game of the year. I was very impressed with Distilled, and I loved Apiary, and I loved Let's Go to Japan. Like all great games.
So Apiary, was that your game last year?
No. We reviewed Apiary at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Yeah. Of this year.
But I know you talked about it last year, that you said you really liked it because I think we'd played it once.
Maybe so. Yeah.
So I'm making sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think
this is still like your game of the year, no matter if you played it the year prior or not.
Right.
It's just, okay.
Yeah. But I think the game that has both been a major surprise, and I think my favorite game of the year is Fate Forge.
Nice.
Fate Forge has been just such a cool and fun and frustrating and difficult and epic experience that we have gone through. I've loved getting to do it with Anna. It feels like when we did Pandemic Legacy, where you're getting to learn all this new stuff and go on the story experience. We're gonna review it one day because we're finishing up the third act now.
Yeah,
we really wanted to take our time with it and really enjoy it.
Yeah,
and I've just been so pleased and so thrilled with it. And it's crazy because like there was a point in my gaming hobby life where I was kind of out on dungeon crawlers because they all felt so similar. But this one provides the thing that I really wanted, where you're going through the dungeon, you're fighting the bad guys, blah, 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 but there's this awesome story that goes alongside of it.
Yeah.
And so for me, that just, because of the clean mechanics, the app integration, all of that, like it sings so well. I'm looking forward to reviewing it. I'm looking forward to finishing it. But for me, it's the game of the year.
Wow. Makes me want to play it. But
that's the goal.
I
get it. Like you already mentioned, like Mansions of Madness and other
Journeys,
campaign games.
Journeys Through Middle Earth.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings
we
game.
Can't play all of them. I get it.
And the theme, I like those two themes better in a general.
That makes sense. That's the other thing that really sings for me.
So that game might be better, but
we both really like D&D.
Right.
And so it has that vibe to it. So no, I really like it.
I don't like hate that theme. I think, but if I'm comparing the three, because those are the two that I have.
Yep.
It would be another one that's like similar overall structure.
Yep.
But I think I would really like it. I don't know if I want to commit to it. So
yeah, it's a different kind of.
Maybe one day when I finish all of those, then I'll come back and give it a try. So
maybe so.
I don't think so. The problem I have with that is I don't think Julia would want to play that. So
yeah, it's probably a little too heavy.
Yeah, so I that's the issue. Is like those games I know I can knock out and play with her, or I have a specific like two guys that like love Lord of the Rings. I can okay,
that's right.
With this, it's like it. It can be done. Obviously, it's just like I'd have to do it.
Right.
Not as easy.
I get it. All right, last for this year. What's your favorite moment of the year?
Oh, I'm torn. It's a dual thing again. No.
All right. Well, why don't you think about it for a second?
No, I have it.
Okay.
But if you want to go first, you can.
No.
But my favorite moment of the year, my one is opening this box, which is insane.
He's pointing at Rainbow C6 for those who are wondering.
My mind is blown on that. But no, I mean opening the doors opening to Gen Con for the first time.
That's a good answer.
I've been waiting 10 years of our relationship.
That's true. I've invited you. See, you guys, my persistence is next level.
No, that was an absolute highlight. I will give a mini highlight to Fun K-Town because I had that was I'll always forget. I love that. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I played a lot of new games.
Teaching games was fun.
Got to teach games, but I got to play a lot of games, and that doesn't always happen a lot of these events.
Yeah.
Even our own retreat, I played more games at Fun K-Town. So
sure. So speaking of the retreat, which we've alluded to several times, because not everybody knows about that.
Yeah.
But
secret.
Yeah, right. Well, so we had to cap it because we only had so much space in our Airbnb.
Right.
But we put on a game table retreat. We kind of did a test run to see how it would go. Had about 20 people that came out to this Airbnb, did a weekend of gaming and just hanging out and living.
Sometimes not gaming, just hanging out in the hot tub and
hanging out in the hot tub. And for me, that's just, it will forever be the highlight of the year.
Well, I'm glad one of us has it.
Because
I have so many, but yeah, that was good.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a lot of work and I know there's a lot that goes into it. And I would love to make it a thing that happens more often. But yeah, for me, I just think everything about it is just such an awesome time. It epitomizes everything that I want gaming to be.
Yeah.
And that you can't beat that in my own mind. So
no, it does encapsulate everything that we...
Encapsulates is such a better word than what I said.
It encapsulates...
Man, you can't say it. I can't remember it.
Yeah,
we should start a podcast.
It's okay. It is everything that we desire in gaming wrapped up in a few days.
That's right.
The relationships, the fun, the talk, the table talk at the table around the game, but the table talk that's
just in general
beyond the game.
And connecting with people you don't know, like we did that this year.
Yeah.
Like everything about it was just so good.
We after a long day of gaming, we spent 3 hours outside with a bourbon and a cigar and just hung out.
Yeah.
And that was a great conversations as well. That wasn't even like we were out there to game, but like
Or the first night where we just looked at the stars for like an hour.
Yeah, you just hung out on the front porch as everybody was probably exhausted in bed. But yeah, it was just everything that the community wants and is. And what's funny is a couple people hadn't never been to an event like that before.
Sure.
And I felt like they
fit right
in with every other event that I'd been to before. And so that relationship and that experience, I hope everybody that was there felt that experience and feels what we feel when we do something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's something special and it's just a really cool thing that you don't get to do all the time.
Yep.
You don't get to feel that connection and I don't know. There's just like a piece about it. It's just really cool. So I'm glad that everybody's able to go. And I think that was it was definitely a highlight for me. All of these things that we talked about. I mean, we're talking top 5 of the year beyond gaming, just overall life this year.
I think
these
from
are
a
all
gaming
highlights.
Perspective, 2024 went really well.
Yeah.
There was a lot of parts of 2024 that was really rough, but gaming went really well.
Yeah, gaming went super well. But no, I mean, all of these things for the year for me total, like the retreat, Gen Con, Fun K-Town, these are all experiences that are top 5 for the year for me.
Sure.
So,
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say, like, if you went to the retreat or if you're interested in the retreat or if you're interested in any of those things or you have thoughts on any of that, please reach out because I would love your feedback, love your thoughts.
Yeah, the interest level.
What you're interested in, like that would be so helpful.
Yeah.
All right, we're running long, but let's look ahead to 2025 and then we'll wrap it up and get ready for another great year of gaming.
There you go.
With 2025 in mind, do you have a couple games that you're hoping to get to the table?
Yeah. Any of the games we talked about.
Yep.
But no. So I purchased a copy of Everdell over Gen Con. Haven't played it yet. The plan is to play it tomorrow.
Okay.
So
nice.
Maybe before the end of the year. But I do want to play that game a couple times. And then another one is Ready, Set, Bet, which is a game that I kickstarted. It's the deluxe version. I've played Ready, Set, Bet before, but there's a deluxe coming. And I am stoked for my group to play it. I think they're going to absolutely love it. And I love it. It was a very fun game, but I think this deluxe edition is just, everything's bigger. I think it's just going to be so good. My group is going to adore this game. So I'm really, really excited just to see their expressions on this game. So yeah, that one's on the list. And again, there's games coming out this year that I'm interested in, but those are definitely ones that I have that is coming that I want to play, as well as there's a Root expansion that they said should be here by the end of the year next year, but
who knows?
See. I mean, that would be great to get to the table as well.
So I've got a couple as well. You mentioned Everdell.
Yeah.
I've always been hesitant to jump into Everdell because I would want all the expansions. Well, I've found a loophole because Starling Games has made Everdell Duo.
Nice.
I received that a couple weeks ago off of Kickstarter, and I'm excited to get that one to the table with Anna. So it's our way of getting into Everdell without having to jump all the way into Everdell.
Right.
And you've got Everdell.
So then
all good.
You're good. You're covered.
Another game system that I've been hesitant to jump into, but this theme might get me there. Unmatched Adventures Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
This one is by Restoration Games. We got to see what the minis look like. And
they were extra big.
They were, but you still got to see like the detail that's going to be going into these miniatures and kind of talking about what this is going to be. I've always thought Unmatched looks really cool, but I've never like been drawn. I've never had a reason to jump in.
Yeah.
Like it's just not, I don't know, it fits our gaming style, and there's been other games and whatever, but I am always on the lookout for an amazing TMNT game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hoping that this might be the one that I can try out to see if it's...
I will be buying that one because I have an Unmatched. I have one base copy, and it's good. It's a good game. I like the variety of the decks and stuff. It's cool, but I haven't collected.
Your reaction there is like what's held me back. Of it's good.
Yeah,
it doesn't fall into the great realm.
The issue that I have with that is the theme is they have a lot of different characters.
Yep.
And it's not like one box has all the characters I want. And so I'm like, I don't want to buy 4 boxes to get the 4 different characters I want. That's totally fine because I know people do buy all of them, and I think they're all great. And I think if you started mixing and matching, it'd be great. The one thing I will say about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one is that it's this kind of cooperative style that you're playing against the game. Plus, you can use the characters that way as well.
Yep.
So they do have other boxes like that. I haven't played them, though. The one I have is like PvP.
Mm-hmm.
So they have one, it's like this, you're playing against the enemy.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious of how that plays, and I'm excited. I will be purchasing that one because I'm
excited for you to purchase it because then I can try it free of charge.
Yeah.
Another one for me, Iridia, The Paths We Dare Tread, which is going to ship next year. I'm very excited.
Yeah, when I buy it for you in 2 years.
Okay. But this game focuses on, it's a massive story game focused on exploration, progression, combat, and role-playing. I feel like it could be my new Fate Forge that I got to experience this year. So we'll see how well that goes, but I am beyond excited for it. And then last but not least, I'll give a quick shout out to our beloved Stonemaier Games.
Oh, yeah.
With Jamie Stegmaier is designing a game called Vantage.
I'm excited for this one.
I am so intrigued.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one.
So it's this open world cooperative adventure game. And of course, you can play up to like 6 players because Stonemaier just does that. But everyone starts in a different part of the world, is my understanding. And you have to communicate through your own vantage point on how to complete all these different things.
That is fantastic.
I am so excited.
That is fantastic.
That sounds so cool. So
Stonemaier just has these creative ideas that when we do talk about games that are similar to other games,
sure,
that they're finding this weird loophole that there's just some idea that hasn't been done yet. I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah,
there must be from the future.
Yes, well, that's true. But it's funny because like I'm reading the synopsis, like you are this group that's going to be exploring an uncharted planet. So it's not like you're exploring our planet.
Yeah.
So you're going to get to explore this whole new place and all these different vantage points, and everybody's got like this HUD thing going on so they can communicate with each other, and not in real life, but like that's the theme of the game.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
But it's also every game is different. It's not a campaign.
It's not a campaign. It's very self-contained.
Yeah.
So everything's there for you. Everything is, you do it in this one sitting.
Yeah.
I want him to pull this off because the concept is awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. No, that's amazing. Well, yeah. And so, yeah, I'll mention one more.
Okay.
Is the Western Legends stories.
Nice.
So I really, really like Western Legends. It's a sandbox game, so it has a couple issues with consistency. But the Western Legends stories, their aim is to fix some of the kind of issues that the base game has. Now, it does create this kind of like 3-part story that you would have to play through. But it's even more sandboxy, but with a story. It has a theme. Your character goes on a story journey. And that's kind of what the game's missing a little bit, is like you all feel like the same character. You just feel like a cowboy and not your own cowboy.
Huh.
And so I'm excited to see what, and I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but it was Kickstarted. I think I might pre-order it off something, but I'm curious of what some gameplay says. I haven't done it just yet, but I will play it at some point via something, because that extra piece of story is what I really want. And them fixing a couple of the issues, what they said, there's like a couple little things that they've discussed that they're fixing that would change the game for me to make it elite.
That's awesome.
So, but I really like, that's weird. It's like a game I already actually really like. You just got to be careful with the group though, because it is really sandboxy. And again, somebody's the outlaws, and then some people are deputies. So it is a little PvP. So it does get a little aggressive. It's a cowboy game, so
sure, like you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but it is a campaign game, right?
This is a 3-part campaign game.
So
3-part.
That's the part where you really have to pick your players correctly, because it's sandbox and campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite the combo.
But it's not like a legacy. It's a campaign, not legacy, to
Which
be
is
clear.
good. Yeah.
So you can go back, play it again, and probably see totally different things. So, which I think is really cool. And that's their goal. They've expressed that they want it to be this campaign light game that you can play over and over again.
Sure.
And have a new experience.
No, that's cool.
I like that idea.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. We're getting high on time, so we're going to jump into our last section here. Personal goals and podcast goals for 2025.
There you go. Well, I can go.
Go for it.
Which I mentioned before, rock climbing.
Yep.
Let's see, I can get a 6. Oh. I think I get an 8 by the end of the year.
Nice.
I think that's a good goal. I think I can get an 8.
Okay.
I go twice a week, so and if I went more, then I could ramp it up. But I think there's probably an 8 somewhere that I can get. So
that's awesome.
I think I can get one.
No, I think you can do it. All right. What else
that'd be
you got?
pretty sick.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, just obviously getting more games to the table as always. But I do think, having again more consistent game nights. I would like to have more people at my game nights. Currently, it's always 3 or 4. I'm struggling to have a bigger group. It's just tough. There's just not as many games. So my idea in the future is to have 2 games going at the same time, and that I don't have to teach both.
Yep,
I
that
could
makes sense.
somebody else teach another. So that means I can have 8 people at the table or 2 separate tables and do it that way, or we can do one big game. But I do want to have some more game nights with the bigger people throughout the year. I only had like a couple this year. I need to have more. So even if we don't play heavier games, we just play a bunch of party games.
But to get more people in the house.
Yeah, I want to get more people to the table.
Sure.
To the game table.
Like we like to do.
Yeah. So, and then, I mean, consistent. Let's keep it rolling, baby. Let's, play some more music. Keep it going.
Yeehaw.
Develop my skills. And, some things have inhibited that. I had to start a new job, and that's been a little daunting. But as the year goes on, I think we can get into a rhythm. So I'm excited for what the year will bring.
Yeah.
So I think continuing a lot of the same goals. I think just making them better.
No, hey, listen, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Continued improvement.
That's right.
I'm going to be in a similar vein. I want to keep working on the weight, bring it down some. I think I got a little ambitious last year, like I do in my life with all things. I think we could get down 50 pounds this year. I think that's doable, much more than the 100 that I tried to jump last time. So
nice.
We're going to give it a shot. We're going to work on it. I've already been strategizing on some adjustments and that sort of thing. So
it can be done.
It can be done. That is for sure. We just got to make sure that food is not the fixer for all stress things.
It's hard to do sometimes.
It is, but we'll keep working at it. of course, playing more games. But I think I want to be very intentional about the games that I play so that I'm playing the games that I want to play.
Yeah.
And that I'm getting to review the games that we really want to review and not just because we feel like we have to.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. I would make that my own.
Yeah. And I also want to get more D&D to the table. We have ideas for how to incorporate D&D into the podcast at some point, and getting to play more will be helpful with that. So, that's something we're looking forward to as well.
Yeah.
And then I was really happy with the amount of gaming I got in with my kids, and I'd love to keep that pace up.
Yeah, that's cool.
Going into 2025.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So those are some of mine. We'll see what else the year brings. But do you have any podcast specific goals?
No, just being able to connect with our community more. I feel like we are connected, but just with a very specific select people
I get
that are more talkative.
Sure.
But I'd love to connect with the community more, and in this year, going to some more local events, I think we'll definitely be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to connect with some more people and be able to reach out to them and do that. I think that'd be really cool. So, there's people that we've met along the way through via Gen Con or other conventions that, I want to reach out to and see if they want to at least get together. So I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, even if that looks like reaching out to some other content creators as well and just being able to put our heads together and come up with something. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I'm always an improver and looking to make things better. So there's some things that I want to continue to learn and work on in my editing skills, and working on, I'd like to revamp the website. Like, I think it was a good first pass. But I think that I can do better now that I've kind of got a understanding of how it works.
Yeah.
And there were some things I didn't know that learned on the back end that was devastating, but that's okay.
Nice.
It's working for right now, and we'll continue to make it better. So those are some things that I really want to work on this year.
Yeah.
And then, we'll see how it goes, man. I'm excited for 2025. I think it's going to be good.
I think it'll be good as well. I am excited. It's going to be fun. Continue to growing.
Man.
That's crazy. What a year.
What a year it's been.
It's been a great year.
We crossed 1 year as a podcast.
Yeah. Woo.
We did all kinds of stuff.
Man, that's crazy.
It's good.
We've done a lot this year, so thank you for listening. You've been there with us the whole time.
Yep. So for those,
and even if you weren't there the whole time, I don't know that. So you've been with us the whole time.
You can pretend.
Yeah. So it's been amazing. It's been so cool.
It has been a journey, and we've put a lot of work in. And so any amount of time that you put in to listen is a major, it means a lot.
Yeah, it does. It really does. So thank you again.
Well, I hope that your new year is amazing, and I hope that you also have a lot of fun gaming as we move into 2025. If you have feedback on how we do our podcast, how we do other things, ways that you'd like to get involved in the Game Table community, any of that stuff, please do not hesitate to reach out. I cannot emphasize it enough. I'm a freaking junkie for stuff like that, so please reach out to me. Validate my reasoning for checking my stuff every single day.
That's right. Message us on anything.
Blow me up, please.
Find the weirdest way to message us. I don't care. Jared doesn't care.
Be weird. Find my phone number and start texting me.
Yeah. I mean, you can contact us on anything. It'll be fine.
That's right.
We'll figure it out.
You are not at all bugging me. I want to hear from you. I cannot be clear enough about that. But with all that said, we will say thank you one more time. If you have feedback about this episode or just want to give your thoughts on any of the games mentioned, again, we would love to hear from you. Links to all of our socials are in the description. If you don't like socials, I get it. Check out our website at thegametablepodcast.com. Shoot us an email at thegametablepodcast@gmail.com, or find us on Board Game Geek. All these links are also in the description. 5-star reviews, subscribing to your podcast player of choice, following us on socials, and joining the conversation on Discord. These heroic actions are immensely helpful in growing this podcast. Special thanks to Angie Santiago for our cover art, to Anna Snyder who made the intro and outro music. Join us next week as we head back over to the two-top table. In the meantime, may your dice rolls and your card draws be blessed, and your experiences at the table be ones to remember forever.
Happy New Year. And if you've made it this far, you made it. It's 2025.
Woo!
That's scary. That's a scary number in there. Are you scared? You're scared.
I'm not scared.
2025.
Why is that scary?
Because it's 2025.
But why is that scary?
Because we're all old now.
Oh, I've been old for a while. I can run for president now.
Yep.
I just turned 35.
We're so old.